It's a miracle. Hi guys, it's a miracle. I'm here. How is everyone doing? Oh my goodness. So here we are in Maryland, and after one laptop and two iPads later, I had to resort to using the phone. So I don't know if you guys can see me or if you can hear me, but I'm so thrilled to be here. Hi, Heather. Thank you for joining. Okay, so we are in business. I'm so terribly sorry. For some reason, my laptop wasn't working, and then, of course, I go hunting for iPads, which are completely dead and out of battery because my kids are just, they're fanatics for them. So anyway, the phone it is. Here we are. So, oh, well, thanks, Amy. That's so sweet of you to say that. Hey, Dana. I talked to Dana earlier this morning, and she knows she's got a heads up on this one. So anyway, my name is Katie Martin. I live in Maryland. I live on the Eastern Shore, which is kind of like the beach, I guess you could say, ish. It's about 30 minutes outside of Annapolis. I have 3 children. I'm a single mom. And I actually am a full-time photographer. So, hey, Kat is coming on. So I figured shoot. Okay, let me see. How do we do this? So I hit the plus sign, right? Add as guest.
Yeah, hold on.
There you go.
Hi.
There she is. Hi,
It gets
Kat.
so quiet when I come on. Yeah, you keep it. Okay, you guys, I am so excited to have met Katie, and we got to know each other a little bit. Sorry, my eyelashes came off. Oh, well, we're fine there. Katie, you look so beautiful.
Thanks,
So
Kat.
she
So
gave me a
cute.
little bit of information on her background. I know she kind of already shared with you guys a little bit, but she told me that she has 3 darling babies, and I loved the way that she described them because her little boy, Luke, plays lacrosse, and then Lucy is the pistol, your daughter. She sounds like a doll. I love little girls who are so spunky and fun. And then your son Kelly is he rides a scooter, and he just is the talk of the neighborhood and such a doll. I'm sure they just emulate your personality. You're so sweet. But what is so amazing about Katie is she took our mascara world by storm, you guys. I mean, the first month that she had was $7,000 in sales, and it was the first 2 weeks. It wasn't even a month, you guys. And then the second month was 11,000, and then the third month was 9. I didn't even do the math on that, you guys, but that's like, is it 23,000? 23,000 or so in 3 months. That's shocking. I mean, you do the math on 40% of that. You guys must have had an amazing Christmas.
We went to
So,
Disney. It was
oh
so
my gosh,
crazy.
I can't even imagine. But I know that she's going to share with you guys some of her background, but the one thing that I thought that was so great is she's a portrait photographer, and she described that she loves helping women feel their power. And I think that that is so inspirational and goes so well with mascara, because she can not only help them feel beautiful in their photos, but then they can take it home and feel beautiful a little bit later. Okay, here, hold on. I'm getting a babysitter. So that was one of the things that really stuck out with me of why this has worked so well for her, is she's able to cross platform over into that. So I hope that she has some amazing things to share with you today. Sorry I have so much going on, honey, but she's an ambassador. She triple ranked in, was it two months you triple ranked, and you have outsold 98% of the company, honey. That is shocking. So you guys, she is legit. She's going to give you guys some great information, and I can't wait to hear it. So good luck, Katie, and we love you so much.
Kat. Thanks so
Okay,
much,
bye,
Kat.
you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so just this is like a complete surreal moment for me. I'm gonna pull it all off here and say I'm a complete guppy with this company. I mean, I joined October 1st. I got my kid on the 15th. I have no idea what I'm doing here on this screen. Like, whose idea was this? I have no idea. So when someone like Amanda Ernest or Kat Fairchild like Voxers you personally, you're like, what? Is this really happening? So I can't even tell you how many amazing aha moments that I've had all the way through this experience, because when I walked in and signed up to be an artist, I really, just looked at the products. I didn't even try it on my face. I just thought, man, these are so beautiful. And I was already doing all of these hair and makeups on all of my photography clients. I primarily love to photograph women. I just think that we are complex creatures, are we not? And there's something that happens to us in, you know, early adulthood, like after we get married, and it happens again, I hate to say it, but once you retire, you kind of go through this thing where your value changes, your self-value changes, and I was going through a little bit of that when I got divorced, and I just felt kind of crappy about myself, and you know, I just felt like I needed an awakening of my own strength again, and just to try to be able to look myself in the mirror and be like, you're enough, girl. It's fine. It's going to be fine. So it was at that point that I started to really hone in my photography business on photographing women, just because I wanted to empower them and show them and give them a little bit of like sort of a day of just owning it, feeling great. And a hair and makeup was a big part of that. You know, I found for me, a woman has a lot, you know, a different way of stepping in front of the camera. It takes a great amount of courage to do that. And for all of you moms out there, you know, think about this. At some point in our lives, we all go looking for a photograph of our mother. It's just a fact. And so what are your kids going to find whenever they, you know, whenever whenever they're all grown? So what I wanted to do was to try to create portraits of women that were classic and timeless in the way that, you know, Mario Testino photographed Lady Diana. Just such timeless things. This is your history. You're the matriarch of your family. Your story needs to be preserved and told. And in order for a woman to be able to do that, to feel like she's got the courage to do that, she's got to feel her best. And so I had lots of hair and makeup artists. I'm not a hair and makeup artist. Lots of hair and makeup artists come over to my studio, and they were doing wonderful hair and makeups on people. And I think that in order to truly give yourself over to that experience, you need to have one less thing in your way. Obviously in your head, you're thinking, how am I gonna do this? I'm scared, whatever. But when you step in front of the mirror and you say, oh man, I look really good. I'm ready for this. Then you don't have to worry about what your hair looks like. You don't have to worry about what your makeup looks like. And then you can really, really give yourself over to that experience. And I'm telling you that the way that I ran my business was I wanted the day in the studio to be a gift for you in the here and now. And then it is a gift for your family. And you better believe that it is a gift from your family. And I could share some tragic stories of things that have happened to some of my clients, and their kids are darn grateful that they have those pictures. So that is my soapbox of my own personal mission with where my career was headed. So whenever I walked into Tammy Williams' kitchen in Savannah, Georgia, I saw this beautiful makeup sitting in front of me, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. Maybe I could get all of my, I wasn't even thinking, maybe I could get all of my makeup artists to use this on my clients whenever they come in for their photo shoots. I wasn't even thinking that I would use it for myself. I wasn't thinking anything about it. And then of course, like, you know, I got so excited the minute I signed up. So I'm just going to give you a small capsule of like what happened from the minute I signed up into like now, really short and sweet. And then I'm going to dive into what does a sales appointment with me look like, sort of step by step, and how do I get to having a, you know, I would say my average sale is $250 to $350. I had a sale a week ago that was $728. Can you believe that? I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. So once I signed up, I just started talking it up. I literally just, I mean, I was photographing a wedding in South Carolina like 2 days later, and I was like just telling everyone. I was telling the bridesmaids, I was telling the bride, I was telling the mother of the bride, who is now an artist on my team, about this cool company that I just joined, and I don't even know what it's going to be, but it's going to be cool, and I can't wait to get my kit. So anyone that was within earshot, I just started talking about it to anybody. Lady in the line at the post office, it didn't really matter. So that was honestly, and that fueled me. Being able to be excited about it fueled me. And so I think that you know, just, it can be scary. Starting a new business can be really scary because I didn't know anything about the company. So what I did was I talked about it to everybody. And then whenever I got my kit, I mean, I literally was like tackling the mailman, and I did an unboxing video on Instagram. And I got my first artist to sign up. Her name's Lisa. She lives in California. She doesn't even live in my state. She lives on the other side of the country. And she signed up to be an artist just because she thought it looked as cool as I did whenever I was in Tammy's kitchen. So there's power in just being positive and just putting the vibe out there. That's it. It's really so simple. I wish I could tell you there's like some secret sauce, but it was just so fun and I was so excited to get my kit. So I did an unboxing video and there you go. The next thing that I did was that I just kind of contacted the people that, I went on Facebook or just kind of messaged a few people and I was like, look, I don't know what I'm doing here. So I need help. Can you come over and just offer, loan me your face so that I can practice? I said, because I'm not trying to pretend that I'm some expert makeup artist. I'm not. Like, I can barely do my own makeup. But anyway, don't tell anyone. So, Lisa, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for shouting out. So I just asked for help. I didn't really go at it like, hey, I want to sell you some of this stuff, or hey, do you want to sign up to be, in a photography client of mine because I've got this new makeup I want to try. I didn't even go at it from any angle other than, man, you'd be doing me a huge favor because I need to just practice. So I got a few people and we had a good time and I made a huge mistake, guys. I started putting the makeup on with a big old brush instead of color matching a little area. I mean, how silly did I feel that I was doing the wrong shade and it was on half her face at that point and I'm going, I think we need to wash it off. So literally so many things happen that are just you learn as you go. You got to fix the plane while you fly it, really. So in that first 5 days, I had some people come over. A couple people actually had already heard of mascara and they were like, man, this is exciting. There's somebody here in my town that sells this stuff. I've always wanted to try it, but I never had the confidence just going online and placing an order because I didn't know what shade I would be. So Kate Twig is another one of my artists and she came over. I think I had my kit for 5 days and we just played with it. And now she's an artist on my team and she's killing it. She's such a boss. She's got a huge team underneath her and she is this close to ranking to ambassador 2 in just 2.5 months as well. So anyway, that was a super fun appointment. And then really, I just started to dig into the available resources that were available to me. So I listened to podcasts. I went into our Dropbox. I made myself some business cards. I know Amanda Ernest is going to be like, no business cards. But anyway, I made myself some business cards. I joined Voxer. Voxer is obviously a huge resource and it was there that I obviously felt this incredible sense of community in this company. Holy cow. I was a track athlete in college, so I was not in a sorority. I just didn't have the time to do it. So I mean, I don't know what a sorority is like, but this is as close as I've ever had to do it. And this place, I have to say, if we were in some kind of sorority showdown with some other sororities, I think we could take them because this company and the level of support that we have, and it's genuine. I have felt such a genuine, I mean, I'll give you one small example. So Sarah Davies is in my upline. She's amazing. I offered, again, completely out of my comfort zone, another photographer, colleague, friend of mine, was a boudoir photographer. And so she lives in Florida, but she was from Maryland. And she's like, hey, I've booked myself a full day of photo shoots, boudoir photo shoots at this hotel back in Maryland. I'm looking for a makeup artist. And I was like, I'm not a makeup artist, but I sure would love to try this makeup on some people. And if she's willing to take a chance on me, then I'm willing to step outside my comfort zone and come to that hotel and try and make these gals feel beautiful, because getting your photo taken is one thing. Getting your photo taken in your underwear is a whole nother level. So anyway, that was a huge test for me, but she took a chance on me and she was like, how much do you want to be paid? I'm like, nothing. Do you mind if I bring this makeup along? I was very transparent and I said, I just joined this company and I just want to practice on people. And would you believe that I ruined my one and only 30-second hack brush 2 nights before this was supposed to happen? And in a panic, I Voxered my little team, and Sarah Davies was on that call, and she said, honey, I got your back. And that beautiful pregnant woman got in her car and drove to her local post office and knocked on the door at 4:05 because they were closed and said, please, please, please let me in. I need to overnight a brush to this girl on my team, Sarah Davies. You have every right to the sales that I made and the customers that I gained that day. And that is an amazing example of the community that is available to us as artists in this company. It is so inspiring. Best story ever. I agree, Heather Birch. It's the best story ever. And of course, like, you know, I loved sending back like a funny package back to mail her brush back to her. And once I was able to get some Hostess rewards, I literally was so new. I had nothing. I had one brush, and she replaced my brush faster than Ask could do it. So between Ask and between the community that is available to us, this company, I just can't, it's like, it's mind-blowing. It really is mind-blowing. So I'm so, so grateful to be part of this. I'm so like flattered that I have a little platform here to speak to all of you today. So anyway, I then, what did I do? I did my boudoir photo shoot. I also was invited, a friend of mine owns a little hair salon, and she said, hey, you know, there's this little festivals like in our town, and lots of people are walking up and down Main Street on a Saturday. She's like, you know, my doors are open and I'm right on Main Street. If you want to come and set up your mascara makeup, you know, you're welcome to do it. So I hacked faces all day long. That was great practice for me, and I got a couple of sales that day. So I was just open to whatever possibility was out there. I really had no strategy. I just said yes. I just said yes to the opportunities that were coming down the pipe. So there are a million people out there. So if that's two little people that you can call on, definitely contact your local hair salon, even if you don't get your hair cut there. I don't even get my hair cut there. And she is a sweet, sweet, sweet salon owner, and she loves makeup, and they do a lot of bridal all throughout the year. And so I think she was very, very curious about it. And so she let me set up shop for a day. And then later on, the following month, we did a little launch party there and did some by appointment faces, you know, right back at the same place. So you can also, guys out there, you can contact photographers and say, hey, do you guys do hair and makeup with your photo shoots? You know, Google that in your local market. Say, hey, you know, if it's boudoir, if it's women, if it's portrait, whatever, just be like, hey, I'm a mascara artist. Fake it till you make it, girl. Even if you're not like a pro, you know, Amanda Ernest style, you know, beauty professional. I'm not. I'm a photographer. So I think that is really, really powerful way of generating leads for yourself. Okay, I started a Facebook page. I call it the Bond Girls. We're the Bond Girls because in my mind, I secretly wanted to be a James Bond, like, you know, badass girl my whole life. So who doesn't want to be a glamorous femme fatale? But I also wanted the Bond Girls to signify that this is something that we can bond over. This is something that we can share and, you know, sit around a kitchen table and do our makeup like we do at home parties all over the United States. So anyway, I started my Bond Girls page and I shared my before and after, just like we all do. So that was really, really powerful. People were like, hey, what, you know, that obviously sparks curiosity. And then I also shared a couple of before and afters of some of the artists on our team that we had with permission to use. So that was very, very compelling. And then what I did was I decided that on Friday afternoons, I was going to open up my home and do just one-on-one appointments. And I just kind of put it out on Facebook and said, okay, guys, if anyone is curious about this makeup, this was probably a week into it when I felt like a little more, you know, I had been hacking faces left and right. So I felt a little more comfortable with the application and how to color match people at that point. So I just opened my house and I said, let's do some one-on-one appointments. And though that process has slowly started to refine itself. So there's definitely a method now that I have every single time that I do it. But at first, you just have to find what works. So now that I've kind of given you the breakdown of how all of that happened, I'm going to kind of dive into what a one-on-one with me really looks like. And if I have a lot of time with that person, so like I went home for Christmas and my mom had some of her girlfriends come over and I knew that I was able to spend more time with them because they were coming over to like have champagne and just hang out with my mom and, you know, have a little girls' night, and they were planning to, you know, be there for a little while. I really took like an hour and a half with each lady. We washed our face, we toned, we did the milk, you know, I talked about how we prepare the skin, how we were not originally, you know, set out to be in skincare, but, you know, Kara had her own struggles, and when she kind of solve them with the use of the milk, then when the skin looks good, the makeup looks good. So that's why it made sense. I'm just gonna dive into the like shorter version of the one-on-one, which doesn't include all of the face washing and everything. But sometimes whenever I have time, I will go all the way with it. And I have found that if you do take time with people and you start at the very, very beginning and you cleanse and you tone and you do the milk, then you will end up selling all of those things because you're able to just substantiate why they're important. So besides all of that, when someone comes over to my house, the first thing that I do is I wash the brushes in front of them. So that's really important. Whether they buy Restore Brush Cleaner with me at that point or not, I don't care. I just want them to see how easy it is. And I talk about how people that have like problematic skin, I have terrible skin. I have terrible, terrible skin. I have had 2 rounds of Accutane. I'm almost going to be doing a 3rd. It's just, I'm a mess all the time. And so cream scared me, the skincare scared me, the milk scared me, everything scared me, but I can definitely say that I've had some successes, big successes with this makeup. The one thing that I love about this makeup with acne is that if I have a blemish, I can cover it. It's like the best coverage ever. So whenever I sit them down, I just talk to them. I ask a lot of questions at first. So I'm washing the brushes and I'm asking them all kinds of questions about like, what are they currently using? I want to know what their experience with makeup has been, because what I have found is a lot of the ladies that don't wear a lot of makeup, most of them don't wear a lot because they were never really taught, which is incredible. And so one of the things that I really love to do is whenever I get like someone that's 15 or 16 years old, or a mom brings her daughter and they're using it as like a bonding experience, I'm like, I congratulate that mom. I say, you know what, it's a good thing you're bringing her over here, because learning how to do your makeup is a really good life skill, and it's helps you feel good when you're stepping out into the world. So we all know, like, when we step out into the world and we don't have any makeup on and we have to go to the store, we're like, have our hood on low and we don't want to be seen. So anyway, I think that educating people, grown or young, is a really, really good life skill to have. So always ask questions about what they're using, what they like about it, what they don't like about it, what are their concerns, do they have allergies, are they sensitive to certain ingredients. I always ask all of those things before I put my hands on their face. Okay, so then the other thing that I want to talk about is, like, when you're with somebody in their personal space, it's important that you treat them, it's a vulnerable place to be. So I think that my training as a photographer, having somebody that I know is nervous, having to have them sit down in front of you, and they're putting trust in you that you're not going to make them look silly or stupid or whatever. So if I'm posing a woman and I'm asking her to move her body in a certain way, or sit this way, or turn your head this way, she's placing an immense amount of trust in me that I am making her look as good as possible. And so earning that trust right out the gate, it just comes with putting someone at ease and just talking to them, making eye contact with them, showing a level of sincerity, because you guys don't understand the opportunity that we have being in this seat. I think that when you share space with someone like that and you have this opportunity to say, you know, you're a really beautiful lady. You hear that out there, all you ladies? I mean what I say. I think you're a beautiful human being, and this is, you know, wow, this makeup's looking really, really good. And, you know, it's a really important thing to just make eye contact, offer them a compliment, mean what you say, and what you're doing right there is going to affect them. And then that will affect someone else. So what I see all the time with my photography business is moms that hide from the camera, okay? So they hide from the camera and they say, just take pictures of my kids. Meanwhile, they're the ones that booked the appointment. They waited 3 months to see me. We've picked a location. Everything is going, you know, everything's happening. And then we get there, and then I've got my camera ready, and then they just go, and all my photographers out there, you're going to say I'm preaching to the choir, because you guys literally know exactly what I'm talking about. And here's what happens. This is what I see. I see the 7-year-old little daughter looking at mommy going, what is that message that we're sending? We're sending the message that mommy has no value. She shouldn't exist in our photos because we don't have any value. So girls, we have such an opportunity in this job, whether we're photographers or mascara makeup artists, to transform a woman's opinion of herself by putting a fabulous makeup on her and sending her out into the world looking and feeling good, because guess what? That 7-year-old is watching every move that we're making. So, huge, right? There's 6,000 of us almost, right? Can you imagine if all 6,000 of us sat across from a lady once a week? How many women would we be able to lift and build? And then her daughter and her daughter. It's incredible. So, huge, huge, huge opportunity that we have here that has nothing to do with bottom line, nothing to do with making a sale. But the value there is huge, and I want you guys to all acknowledge that opportunity that you have each day. Okay, so we color match. Then I hack. Oh, I have to back up. I'm so sorry. So I got on a soapbox there. So the one thing that I do at the very, very beginning, after I talk through everything with them, just like ask them all the questions, is I show them the how to hack video of Kara doing her makeup. So there's things that I love about this video and things that I don't love. So the thing that I love about it the most is that it's 1 minute and 58 seconds. So I sit here and I say to my girl, listen, she is doing her makeup and it looks amazing in 2 minutes. Do you have 2 minutes to put in, into your face in the morning? Sure we do. So when they see Kara do it, not only are they ready for what I'm about to do to them, they've had a 2-minute synopsis of exactly what I'm going to do to them, then they also, can see how it looks, and they can acknowledge in their own brain, this is doable. I can do this. So that already sets the tone. And then the thing that I don't love about it is that she's using a quad, and I don't want to sell a quad. I want to sell a mini double-decker or a large double-decker. So, the only downside to that video is that Kara is making it so simple, but it's only 4 tins of makeup and 1 brush. So in the end, I'm like, hey, I know that you saw what you saw, but now I'm going to go way more. So there's kind of a pro and con to that video, but I do love starting with it because then the woman is really ready for what I'm about to do. Okay, so then I color match her. I'm not making the mistake anymore of just plowing through and putting the brush in the makeup. I do use a small little whisper and kind of color match that way. And then I just talk to her the whole time. I'm telling her, little tidbits about the company, things that I know, like why Kara decided to go direct with the company, that it was important that this was passed from one woman to another, that, we really want to take women by the hand. We know this is a different way of doing your makeup. So, being able to educate you and sit down with you is the gift that we get to give you. I mean, that's the whole piece of this makeup and why we end up doing direct sales. And secretly what I'm doing there too is kind of confessing that I was not an MLM person. I wasn't. I actually joined another MLM I don't know, 10 years ago maybe. And it was one of those terrible situations where I met this girl, I was new to a community, a new state, in fact, and she just was interested in signing me up and then literally lost my phone number. So I had such a horrible taste in my mouth over MLMs at that point. I was like, never again. So, I kind of am planting that seed that MLMs were not for me, but I love the business aspect of this because of Kara's compassion. So the whole time I'm just talking to her and sharing things about, that the business has been surprising me all the way through. And, just that not only is the makeup an incredible thing, but the business is too. And this is why we do this way. So I'm talking to her about that. I do hack her face, and then I do an eye look. And I always ask her, do you want an everyday eye? Do you want a smoky eye? And then I tell the story that I learned how to do a smoky eye from Amanda Ernest. And smoky eyes just made me so scared. I thought every time I did it, I looked like I got punched in the face. So that's no good. And but thanks to Amanda Ernest, she made it very, very simple. And now I can do that and do it on somebody else. So again, there's a huge resource here in this company and women that are willing to help, give you the tools that you need to succeed. You don't have to be an expert. That's right, Amanda, give us the smoke. Okay, the other thing that I do at the very beginning is I do take a before picture. So this is really key. So I take a before picture. I always pull them over to, a window, or I use my ring light and I take a before picture of them. And then at the end, just like Shay Taylor said, I always ask them how they feel. 99% of them say, I don't feel like I have any makeup on. That's great. And then I show it to them and they're like, wow. Always a wow. There's always a wow moment, and that's awesome. And you want to capture that. And so capturing that in the after picture is a really important thing. And what I do is I pull up the before and I pull up the after, and I use, I think Layout is the app, and I just put them side by side, and I ready, set, go. I turn my phone around and I show them the before and after. And sometimes that before is with their makeup on, which I love. I love a makeup to makeup side by side, because it shows them the way that they think that they're doing their makeup and the way that that looks good, and then the after way. And the other thing that I show them is our own Dana Lewis. She has got an incredible side-by-side of before and after, and I just have this sitting out, and I'm going to show it to you now. If you guys haven't grabbed this, you should be using it. Look at Dana, how beautiful she is. I actually had it printed at my lab, and I know, Dana, you're going to be like, you're a freak for me. I am a freak for you, girl. But this is just a before and after of mascara makeup and then old flat face makeup. Isn't she a babe? So thank you, Dana Lewis. You're helping me with my sales volume big time. So having another lady go home, and at that moment, I show her the before and after of her makeup, and I text that to her immediately. I'm just saying, oh, hey, give me your cell number. I'll text this to you. Because I know a couple things. Number one, I have her phone number now, even if I didn't have it before. If she was just like someone random, I have her phone number now so I can follow up with her, even if she decides not to buy that day, that moment. Second thing is, I know she's going to go back and look at that a couple times, right? Even if she leaves and she buys nothing, she's going to go back and look at that. And the best part is she may text that to a friend and be like, yo, I just had my makeup done at Katie's house and this is the before and after. So there's 3 possibilities of things that could happen just by texting that to them right then. So I definitely do that. And it's just really, really important. And then the other thing that I do is I always talk about the pluses of the business. The fact that we have returns, free returns, so you have 30 days, there's no risk. Even if you feel like you're, don't know what you're doing, I'm here to help you, those kinds of things. So that's all important in everything that I say. And so then what I'm doing, as I'm doing that, I'm writing up all the things that I'm putting on their face, and I'm always going for that 10. I'm always looking and 6 creams, 2 powders, and 2 shadows, or 6 creams and 4 shadows as a base. So that's like the main package. And then I always tell them why they need the 2 face brushes and the 2 shadow brushes. So always the detail hack and the 30-second hack and the eyeshadow everything and the multitasker as an absolute minimum, absolute must have to do your whole face. And I just tell them why it's all important to have those things. So generally that sale total is about $250. If I did the cleansing and everything at first, that sale total is about $400. So at this point, this is really important. So I learned this from one of my favorite photographers, one of my idol photographers, who's really, really good at selling her work. And here's the thing, if you're sincere about what you're offering someone, then it's really not a hard sell. If you know that you've done your job and that they look really good and that they're very excited, all you have to do is ask for the sale. And the whole thing about asking for a sale is you write it up, you show them how much, and then you say, this is how much it'll be, and then you shut up. You don't say anything else. Because the next person that talks is the one that's going to eat the sale. So you just have to be ready and just smile and sit contently and wait for her answer. Because a couple of things will happen. One, she could be like, awesome, where do I sign? And then the other thing that she might say is, well, you might have a few objections. And these are things that you should just be ready for. So objections are not no's. They're just not yeses yet. So you have to think about that way. So Common objections are, well, how long will this last? Or how do I pay? Can I pay with a credit card? Or is it a cash thing? Or is it a check thing? Because sometimes if it's just a credit card issue, you're like, it's fine. And then again, if somebody's thinking, oh, well, how do I scale back a little bit? Then I can offer them something more modified. And I know that they're always going to come back and fill in the rest. So I always say, oh, my mom, she was not like a makeup wearer. She was just a chapstick and mascara lady. And she thought, at 60 years old, she was like stuck in her ways and was never going to be a makeup girl. And so, she was like, I just want the quad, Katie. I just want the quad. I don't think I'm going to do any more than the woman now owns 3 quads. She owns 3 quads. I finally just sent her a double decker. I was like, forget it. Like, just put it all in one thing, woman. But here's the thing. I always underscore, like, you're totally welcome. There's no pressure. You're welcome to buy a quad. I just know that from the majority of my customers, they end up coming back like literally less than a month later, and they want this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing. And now they're out of space. They're out of space immediately. So, if you can swing it because you have a great return policy, try it. You can always return it if you don't like it. But, I just have found that people have a little sense of regret because once they start using it, they just love it so much. So that's one thing that has helped me overcome that objection. Okay, so let me look at my notes for a second. How am I doing on time? Rebecca's sitting here. Rebecca's amazing.
It's time to start wrapping it up.
It's starting to wrap it up. Okay, so the last couple of things that I'm going to say are don't get discouraged with objections. If you teach them, they will completely come along. They're come along for the ride, for sure. And same with a rejection. Anytime that somebody just says, no, I don't think this is for me, and that's happened to me, I have to just kind of say, okay, it wasn't me. Now I'm just that much closer to a yes. So you just have to stay positive and say it's not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. So if a rejection is just getting closer to a yes. The other thing is you need to modify when necessary. So like I said, some of my ladies, so I went to Texas recently and we did a full face of makeup on all these beautiful ladies. And when I wrote it up, we used $400 worth of product on their faces. And so when I presented it to them, they all loved it. I texted them their picture. They loved it, but then they all hesitated. So what I did was I texted them later that night and I said, this was your original order that we wrote up. And this is a more modified version. They all went with double deckers with everything and skincare. And then so what I did was I scaled it back and I offered them a mini double decker. So their $400 quote went from $400 to $250, which seemed like a bargain at that point to them. So like I said, almost all of them ended up becoming customers that day. And one of them was a $728 order. So you win some, you lose some, but in the end, it all kind of factors out. So you just have to make sure that you're listening to them. And the bottom line really is just to be as authentic as possible and to go outside your comfort zone, try things that scare you. And really, I just have to say, and I'm not like trying to like pat myself on the back or anything, but for people that you're talking to about this business and becoming artists and they say, I just don't have the time, that's fine, because I'm all about people like operating at their highest level of contribution. So if you pack your life too full with too many things, you're going to suffer because you're not going to be any good at any of them. So, just distilling it down to what is exactly essential is important. However, in my case, I'm a full-time photographer. I teach yoga 3 times a week. I have 3 children. I'm a single parent. There is no one coming to my rescue except for Rebecca on the daily basis, my helper with my photography business. And you just have to say, what is my excuse? What is in the way of me? There is nothing in your way except you in reaching your goal. That's it. So you can tell yourself all day long that you have, this or that in your way, but really it's you. So, and that's always really hard. You always have time. You always can do it. And you have a whole team of people behind you cheerleading you to that success. So I don't know, Amanda Ernest, if this book is in the Audible, but it ought to be. So this is the last parting word. This is called Essentialism. This thing is filled with all kinds of amazing, amazing nuggets for life and business and just how to, it's not about saying no is okay. It's about living your best life and really operating at your highest level of contribution. What does that look like? So I'm just going to read you one little piece of this because I think that when I read this, I thought about our company instantly. It's about small wins, celebrating small wins in living an essential life, and how to measure progress and the power of small wins. So it says here, we need to start small and build momentum. We can use that momentum to work toward the next win and the next one, and so on until we have a significant breakthrough. And when we do, our progress will have become so frictionless and effortless that the breakthrough will seem like an overnight success. So I know that when I joined this team, I thought to myself, holy cow, like Kirsten Tyrell has been like with the company for less than 12 months or 12 months now, and she's making like serious cash. Same with some of the other leaders in our company, and I'm thinking what an overnight success they are, but they're not. They had to hit elite, and they had to hit top hacker, and they had to hit ambassador, and they had to have, you know, somebody join their team, and they had to go outside their comfort zone and be like, I don't know what I'm doing with this makeup, but I'm going to put it on your face and see how it goes, right? So everyone has been exactly where we are. And so I love the corporate culture of this company that just celebrates, you know, the ability to make these small incremental successes. It feels good. It feels good to be supported. And so I think that our company, when I read this, I just wanted to clap for Mascara and say that we're doing it right. Everyday progress, even a small win, can make all the difference in how people feel and how they perform. And a Harvard Business Review article said that research shows that the two primary motivators for people are achievement and recognition for achievement, and that is something that we are also doing right. And so it has just been such a pleasure talking to all of you. I have, like, my mom always said I had diarrhea of the mouth. Isn't that a gross thing? But I talk fast. I hope that you guys got all of that. Rebecca, was there any crazy questions? I'm totally out of time. I know that.
Liz just wanted to know what Voxer is.
Liz who?
Dutcher?
What's Voxer? Liz, I think you're on it. Aren't you on Voxer, darling? I'll message you. Anyway, I will go back through and read the comments, and I'll answer everything. It has been my pleasure. Amanda Ernest is coming to you tomorrow, and she is just, oh my gosh, she's just the cat's pajamas. I don't even know what to say. So she's going to be tuning in tomorrow at noon, and I just thank you guys so much for joining. I've had a blast. You guys can message me too anytime. I'm all good. Okay. Oh, post the link to the book. You bet. Okay, guys. See ya.